Hi, my name is Alan Williams. In this video we're going to have a look at Tableau set actions. This was introduced in 2018, so it's been around for a couple of years, but I'd like to show you how it works with three examples. So I have three dashboards here. This first dashboard, I have a chart on the top where I click on a square and it shows me the sales details throughout the years for each one of these categories. The second example I'm going to be showing you how to build is this type of chart where I've got some kind of a fancy menu on top. I can select different categories and see the sales over the years in a line chart. The third one is functionality related to drilling, and specifically drilling deeper into data. So Tableau for a long time has had the ability to create hierarchies and drill into the hierarchy, like product category, subcategory, and then product name, the typical example. But you didn't have the ability to specify which dimensions you wanted to drill into, which specific dimensions you wanted to. So in this case, I'm looking at download games. Let me just click on that again. So you can see here I've got, well, for every one of these categories, everything except games and toys just has one subcategory. But games and toys has a couple. So I want to get in to see what products belong in box games. So in previous versions of Tableau, I could use a hierarchy and drill in to see all the products for all the subcategories, but I only want to see what's in box games. So now I can do that, and I can look at each individual product within the box game subcategory and see the sales over the years. So this is, to me, is one of the nicest features of the set actions that were introduced in 2018. Let's get started. I'm going to connect to a text file that's got a little over 2 million rows of data. So this is from the Contoso sample database from Microsoft. It's a sample data warehouse that has a lot of records in it. This query that I ran to get the CSV file is just bringing in some of the fields. So I'm bringing in product name, subcategory, category, and then the geographical information, country, city, state, and the sales quantity and amount and the sale date. So just some basic fields we can use to show the capabilities of this. So I'm going to make an extract. I'll make this extract available from my website. Go sheet, it's going to give me a name to save it. Let me just pause the video while I do that. So the extract is being created. You can see quite a few rows. We're getting up to 1 million, should be 2 million soon. I think it's around 2.7 million. And we can start working on this workbook and create these dashboards to show set actions. Okay, we're ready to go. Okay, we're going to get started now. So I see the Tableau's created an automatic hierarchy for country, state, and city, which is kind of nice. I just want to rename this though to geography, and I want to create another hierarchy with the product category and subcategory and product name. So just call this one products, and then I will also bring in product name into there. So now I've got these two hierarchies, the sale date and my two measures. So I'm going to get started by bringing in the category name into text. Sorry. Next I'm going to bring in sales into color. I'm going to make this a tree map. Now that I've got the sales by category, I also want the sales by date, and for that chart I'm going to bring in the sale date into columns, and we're going to go down to the month level. So let's get rid of quarter out of there. All right, so month and year, that's good. And I want to bring in the sales amount into rows. Okay, that looks good so far. I want to make this a bar chart. Well, I can see sales for rows. This would be sales for every single product sold by the company. We don't want that. We just want to be able to see the category that was clicked on from the sales by category sheet. So I'm going to be creating a set that's going to handle this. I'm just going to create a set on category name. So I'm just selecting the dimension here, create set. And for now I'm not going to select anything. I'm just going to call this category set. And we're going to use this in a few minutes. Okay, I want to place the mark labels on here. Let's just show them in the default position where they are right now. Now if I drag in category set into filters, you'll see I don't see any results. And the reason is, let me just go click edit this set. I click on cell phones and apply. Now I will see sales for cell phones, but what I want to do is dynamically change the members of this set by clicking on one of the categories in this other sheet. So in order to do that, we have to use set actions. Let's go over what we've done so far. I've created a sales by category worksheet. That's a tree map chart showing the total sales by category in the database. I've created a sales by date worksheet, and I've also created a category set right now it only has one member in it, which I believe is, let's just go back here again, it was cell phones. So what I want to do is dynamically change this bottom chart based on what's selected in this top one. In order to do that, I have to create a dashboard. So let's bring in those two worksheets. Bring that one onto the top, this one onto the bottom. I can get rid of this. I can make this a little smaller. I can make it fit entire view. That looks pretty good. Let's add the set action to this dashboard and make it work. So I go to Dashboard, Actions. I want to add an action, and I want to change set values. That's the type of action that I want. I want it driven by the sales by category worksheet on the top, and the set that I want to change is category set. The data source, in this case, there's only one, that product level data set that we had. Running the action will, I'm going to leave it on assigned values as set, and clearing the selection will remove all values from set. That's what I want to have for my behavior here. And I want it on select. So this should, after I click OK and go back to this dashboard, when I click on the tiles in the top tree map, we should see the bottom results change. So let's see if it works. So I'm going to click on cameras and camcorders. Yeah, you can see the chart is changing. Yeah, so I have the desired result here. By using set actions, I was able to create a dashboard that let me select a category from the top chart and have it update the bottom chart just with the sales for that category. For the next example illustrating set actions, we're going to be creating this dashboard right here. So this is another workbook that I've already built this out on. It allows us to select more than one category, and we can see the results for however many categories we select up here. So that's our next step. Okay, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is create a new category set. I have multiple category sets in this workbook. I don't want them to clash with each other, so I'm going to go create a set and just call this one category set 2. Nothing else is different from it than the other one. Next thing I'm going to do is bring category name into columns. Change this to shape. Bring category name into shape. And now I'm going to assign some shapes here. I'm going to pick a folder that's got some shapes in it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick some random icons here for these different product categories. They don't really make much rhyme or reason, but just to give you an idea how it's done. Apply. So now I've got the shapes there. I'm just going to change the size of these shapes, make them a little bit bigger, make the row height bigger. I'm going to make this fit the width. Alright, so I have some icons here. I'm going to throw this category set 2 into color. Okay, so when I click on one of the items, you see it's a little bit different, but now I'm just going to go and actually change the colors here. For the out, I want red. There's none in yet. Let me go change something so I can actually assign that. I'll say, okay, I'm going to go to category set 2, edit the set, and I'm going to say cell phones are the selected item. Now if I go to the colors here, I should see a color for in, and okay, it's assigned blue for in, red for out. Now I'm going to build a sales over time worksheet, so I'm going to bring in the sale date, and we're going to go with continuous month, and I want to have the sales amount on rows. I want to have the category name in color, And I want to have category set 2 for filter. Okay, so right now it's only showing cell phones because that was the one item selected in that set. So now we're going to build a dashboard with these two worksheets and see how that first one can control this one. Okay, let's put this sheet and this sheet together in a dashboard and hook them up with set actions. So I'm going to bring in the category header on top, sales over time on the bottom. I'm going to get rid of these legends here, don't really need them in this dashboard. I'm going to change the size of these, they're a little bit too big, so I'm just going to go to worksheet, go to sheet, go to size, and make it a little smaller. That's a bit better. Go back to the dashboard. So now I've got my icons. If I click on home appliance or any one of these, nothing here is changing because I'm not dynamically changing the set yet. I have to go in and add the action. So dashboard actions, I'm going to add an action. It will be a change set values. I want the category header to drive the changes, and I want the set to be category set 2, and I want it to remove all values from set when clearing the selection. Okay, so do that. Let's click OK. Now, if I click on, for example, TV and video, two things should happen. The TV and video icon should become blue, and I should see the results for TV and video on the bottom. So let's see what happens. And that's exactly what happens. So I got this working the way I want. The nice thing is I can select multiple categories and see the sales over time for them separately or combined, no matter what I want to see, just a few clicks away. So a pretty powerful example of set actions right there. For the last example, we're going to show how set actions can be used for drilling into more details. So the default behavior of Tableau before was different than this. We're going to build this dashboard. I'm going to show the difference between the standard way of drilling into data versus the new way of doing it, but the finished product that's going to look like this. So I'm going to be able to drill into the subcategory of download games and only see the products belonging to this subcategory of games and toys. I'm not seeing every product for every subcategory. And then I can select any one of the individual products in download games and see the sales over time. So this one is a little more complex than the other two, but let's build this one out. So let's have a look at how Tableau historically has handled hierarchies and drilling into data before set actions, just to give you an idea. So I'm going to bring in sales amount into columns. I'm going to change it to average. It helps if you type it in, right? AVG. There we go. So average sales amount. I'm bringing the category name into rows and the category name into color. And now if I drill down from here, you can see what it's done is it's expanding all the subcategories for every category. If I go further, it's giving me every product for every subcategory of every category. What I'd ideally like to do is select audio and MP4 and MP3 and just see the products belonging to that subcategory. So that's something that we can do with starting with Tableau 2018. So let's have a look at how that's done. First thing I'm going to do is make a copy of this sheet since it's got some of the starting points I already want. Duplicate. Alright, I'm going to call it set action drill. Now I have to create a set containing the subcategories. So I'm going to create the set from that dimension. I'm going to call it drill subcategory. And I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to leave it select from list with no items selected and say OK. Now I need to create a calculated field. Create calculated field, and I'm going to call this one drill into subcategory. And the formula is if category set 3, then subcategory name, else show me the category name. So depending on what level they're drilling into, show me the category name or subcategory name. Click apply and OK. Now I'm going to remove product name from here temporarily, and I'm going to put drill into subcategory in place of subcategory name. Let's see what this looks like. So now I have it looks a little bit different now. I can see the subcategories. But until I add an action here, it's not really going to do any drilling for me, at least not the way I want it to. Let me go back a couple steps. So I need to go ahead and go into worksheet actions. I have to add a new action, a set value action. We'll call it drill into subcategory, and the source sheet will be the one I'm on. The set that I want to be the target set will be category set 3, and I will say remove all values from set for clearing the selection. Okay. Okay, so now if I click on computers, I am seeing a breakdown of the different subcategories. If I click computer accessories again, it rolls it back up. Let's go back one more thing. So desktops. Let's have a look at games and toys. So there's only 2 categories. Home appliances, there's a few. Okay, so we have that done. The next step is to do the exact same thing at the product level. So I can go into the subcategory and then the individual product. So I've created a set with the product names. So it was just real basic selecting the product names and creating a set out of them. Then I created a formula called drill into product. Edit the formula here. Let's see what we got. I'm saying if drill subcategory, then product name, else nothing. So if I'm drilling into a subcategory, show me the product name. If I'm not drilling into one, don't show me anything. And then I added an action. Drill to product, and it is drilling on the set that we're setting as the target set is drill subcategory in this case. Okay, so now if I click on games and toys, I see a breakdown of the subcategories. If I go to download games and click that, I'm only seeing the products that belong to download games within games and toys. I'm not seeing the products for all the other categories. So this is what I want. The next step, what I want to do is be able to click on one of these products and get some history of the sales of that product. So we'll quickly wrap this video up showing you how to do that. So I've created another worksheet called Sales Over Time. In columns I have the year and the month. So for each year I've got the 12 months. In the rows I have the sum of the sales amount. So for each month of each year, what was the sales amount? And I have the sales amount in color, the product name in detail, and the labels are the sales amount. So the other thing I had to do to get this to work is to bring the product name set into the filters for this, and you'll see why in a minute. So now I've got the ability to drill into subcategories and pick an individual item. Let's do that one more time. So I can select individual items on this worksheet. In sales over time, I'm just seeing the sales over time for whatever the selected product name is. So let's have a look at what that dashboard looks like. I've already put it together. So on the top part of the dashboard, we have the set action drill worksheet, and I can have a look at all these different products. What were their sales over the years? Actually, I'm interested in cell phones and this 2-line speakerphone. So I can see the sales for every single product here rather quickly, and I can drill into subcategories and categories to get the level of granularity that I want, and then see the very specific sales amounts for individual products using this technique. So I hope you enjoyed that video on set actions that was introduced in Tableau 2018. My name again was Alan Williams. If you go to my site, alanwilliams.ca, we'll have the files used in this creating this video tutorial available from my website. So thanks again for watching.